Back in September, Rapido Trains UK hosted their first ever model railway exhibition, the Rapido RailEx, down in Maidstone in Kent. Alongside showcasing a host of samples of newly announced products, they spiced up the exhibition formula by offering a custom private owner wagon service. This is where you could order your own bespoke wagon, choosing the colour, text, font style and graphic design layout. In the past, manufacturers that have offered a service like this required expensive bulk orders of 50 or 100 wagons, never just a singular wagon. To give this a try, I got myself down to Maidstone and ordered one. And here it is. The turnaround was quicker than expected, only being 4 weeks from order to arrival. Before looking at the wagon itself, I must say the process really impressed me. One Rapido employee wrote down the desired text to ensure it would fit with the graphic design layouts they offered in terms of numbers and letters. Once the text and design choices were decided, I sat down with one of their designers who showed me their actual graphic design software used to put liveries on the CAD models. They input the text, rearranged the graphics, adjusted the text size, letter spacing and everything, while asking for my opinions and feedback. I was expecting a simple form and payment, but this was actually a very immersive experience and a neat window into their product design and development. As such, I wasn't prepared to film it. Anyhow, once I was happy with the design on the computer screen, they saved it and all was done. It was whisked away for production. What you see here in my design is a blue 5-plank wagon, with my chosen font and layout with some custom spacing arrangements. I went for blue, but they were also offering reds, greens, light greys and plain black wagons. I love the livery on this, thankfully so as I chose it. There is a lot of fine detail picked out in the black paint atop the blue, much more than I could hope to achieve on my homemade customs, which is a testament to the detailed tooling. The decals I asked for have been applied without any spelling errors, and from afar they look fine, but the cruel camera lens can get up close and personal. If memory serves me correctly, the custom wagons have UV printed decals, which look far grainier up close than the Rapido models released to the general market, which have tampo printed decals. The LNWR van I looked at recently shows a huge contrast in the crispness and clarity of the decals up close. As such, the decals here are fine, but not of the usual top tier Rapido quality. The choice to go with tampo printing for this custom wagon service is no doubt how Rapido got this to be an economically viable activity. The inside of the wagon was painted in a wooden planking brown, which I was not expecting and adds another layer of realism and value to the model. Rapido's brake rigging detail also features, as it does with all their open wagons. The wagon end has a nicely picked out frame and buffer detailing, as well as a finely moulded dummy hook and NEM coupler. While the finish generally was good, there were a couple of small blemishes tricky to notice unless the light hits them at the right angle. Also, there were a few hairs or fibres on the model, thankfully not trapped in the paint, so they were relatively easy to remove. A few tiny chips to the paint were found on the other side, but they weren't drastic enough to ruin the overall appearance of the wagon. Underneath is a vast array of underframe detailing and a clearer view of the separate brake rigging components. The wheel axles are held in place with bearings, so are long lasting and free rolling. On the scales, the wagon comes in at 26 grams, which is a fine weight. The back-to-back wheel gauging came in at 14.8mm on both axles, a bit above the standard but better for fine scale track work. On the whole, it's a lovely little wagon, and I could go on about all of the rivet and planking detail, picked out chain moulds etc, but the images speak for themselves. It's all for naught though if this doesn't work on the track, so let's give it a test run. As with the LNWR D88 van, the bearings make this a free and easy roller, with minimal friction on the axles. With this video being all about Rapido rather than a specific prototype or model, I've put together a train of various Rapido wagons. We have the LNWR D88 van back out, as well as a GPV gunpowder wagon, both tucked behind my Rapido 15XX, the preserved 1501. With everything in place, let's test the couplings. They are the perfect height and coupled both ways. With the train together, we can see that the custom wagon is not phased by my Pico Code 100 streamline point work. The next test is the baseboard joins, but these pose no challenges either. Time to set the train off on a test run around the loop. The wagon passes fine onto the next board, as well as onto the third board. The Rapido consist manages the full lap without any drama. It's a solid and reliable performance all round. So the custom wagon is as good a performer as any other Rapido wagon on the market, and it's dressed in my choice of colour and words. It's the modeller that gives their layout and their trains a unique identity and atmosphere, and this custom wagon service takes this one step further with the assistance of an innovative major manufacturer. On to my final verdict. Decoration. This is a unique opportunity seeing the decoration go from the screen, where I input into the decoration design, to the finished product. While the UV printing doesn't offer as stylish a finish as the Tampo printing on general release wagons, this was no doubt done to make one-off wagon design sales marketable economically, and from a distance it looks absolutely fine. It's the decoration I designed and asked for, so how can I mark myself down? The inside plank detailing and other picked out details were a nice cherry on top. I'm giving this one the decoration point. Details and features. There is some overlap here with decoration, as that is the key standout feature, a unique livery with my text, locations and numbers. This is all on top of a finely detailed base tooling with great rivet and frame detailing, separately fitted brake rigging and bearings. It's certainly got more going on than numerous limited run Dapol wagons I've got in my collection, which was the bar for my expectations. This wagon meets Rapido's normal level of details and features, so I'll give it the point. For quality, as much as I love this wagon being of my own design, I can't overlook those few small things I spotted. There were issues with stuck hairs and minor paint blemishes which I spotted before opening the box, though the former was easy to fix while the latter is only visible under certain lighting angles. It's a tad unfortunate and almost made me lose sight of the rest of the wagon. The build quality was faultless, even if the finish wasn't. The quality issues were truly minor and didn't undermine the quality massively, so on the whole, I'd still rank this as a quality wagon. Performance. Solidly built, this wagon solidly runs. It handles point work with ease, and tricky curved baseboard joins with a minor jolt, but never left the rails during my testing. It's a high flying performer, so it gets my thumbs up. And finally, on to price. This is going to be a little bit different today as this isn't a shop bought item, so I'll be giving my view as to whether the cost of the service is overall worthwhile. One bespoke wagon set me back £50, an eye-watering price for a basic 5-plank wagon tooled up for another range. But included with that was physically being part of the graphic design developmental process, working hand in hand with Rapido's expert to perfect the wagon I envisioned in my head. Viewing it as a model railway experience, including some behind the scenes insights, the end product of which is a one-of-a-kind premium quality wagon, all of a sudden the £50 payment price seems rather valuable. Delivery was free and production time was only 4 weeks, providing stellar service from start to finish. Never in my dreams did I see myself awarding a price point for a £50 plank wagon, but Rapido's convinced me to do it. The cost, however, does make this likely to be a one-time deal, but I'm glad I took the dive and did it. So that's a solid 5 out of 5, making Rapido's custom wagons an essential item for any layout. and the Rapido custom wagon service experience an essential thing to do if you're interested in the hobby. You can get down and dirty with the design, and have a personalised piece of rolling stock tailored to your layout. Template offerings aside, the wagon can literally be whatever you wish. So what do you think of this custom wagon? Did you use Rapido's service, and if so, how did you find it? Are you interested in seeing this become more of a regular thing in the hobby? Rapido will be bringing this custom wagon service to the Festival of Railway Modelling at the NEC in Birmingham later in November. So if you missed the first go around in Maidstone, you have another chance to check it out. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in another video very shortly. Take care.